There is a pervasive belief that the arts and the sciences are two separate cultures, and that if we explore the world too closely, we somehow destroy our creativity. But it wasn't always this way. For Leonardo da Vinci, the laboratory and the artist studio were the same place. This installation by the artist duo Heinrich and Palmer was created in partnership with engineers from the University of Hull. I'm here with one of those engineers, someone for whom Leonardo is perhaps not an artist with an engineering bent, but an engineer who can also handle a paintbrush. Stephanie Hayward is Head of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at the University of Hull. So if you had to explain to me who Leonardo da Vinci is, would you describe him as an engineer or an artist?
I think he's both, absolutely both. I mean, he's the typical polymath, isn't he? He did absolutely everything. He designed beautiful objects, he created novel, innovative machines, and he made them in some cases as well. And he was very interested in the human body. So he was interested in everything from biology, engineering, art, the whole spectrum of human activity, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So how would you describe the relationship between art and science?
I think they both need each other. They're symbiotic. I don't think that they've always been perceived as being opposite ends of the spectrum, but actually in a way I think they meet in engineering, because I think very much the artist has a very similar job to do as an engineer. So quite often an artist is given a commission, a brief, they have timescales to meet, they have a budget to meet, and they have to produce something at the end. And very often they're using engineering and particularly maths in order to produce things. So if you look around this exhibition, there are very many areas where you could say you have to have had some mathematical skills to draw the circles in that picture over there, to design the sculpture behind us. So and an engineer behaves in a very similar way. Quite often you have a different goal at the end, quite a more practical goal at the end, but the process of getting there is often very similar.
Sabine Bieli, another exhibitor, is an artist for whom creative vision is intimately tied to the geometry and the physical nature of the materials she uses. So can you tell me how important materials are to you in your work and in this in particular?
Materials come up via the idea, or the other way around. They define what I do.
How experimental are you?
I did quite a few small scale pieces in this style, and it took a while to develop the technique. And it always takes a while until your hands know what they are doing, and until they learn the language.
Lara Goodband is the curator of this exhibition, and so has spent several months exploring the intersection of the arts and engineering. I wanted to know what connects these two disciplines.
Well, all of the artists I've selected make art in conversation with other people from other disciplines or communities, and when Ruth Levine, for example, worked with the Department of Engineering at the Sheffield University, she was able to literally tap a new source, and that was navigate the water sources that we don't see, the sewers and the water that we drink that's managed by Yorkshire Water for us. And she's produced really beautiful prints and drawings, and she could only do that by talking to engineers about what happened with waste and water.
Art and engineering are both creative activities, even if they often meet very different human needs. We should remember this whenever we are tempted to assume that artists and scientists have created two separate cultures. More importantly, we should remember this when politicians assume that education can be either creative or technical. If it isn't both, then it's neither.